Before the break, we were looking at the pulmonary circulatory system. Now let's move across to look at the systemic circulatory system. Remember that the systemic circulatory system is going to take blood to all the systems of the body, to your reproductive system, to your excretory system, your digestive system, the systems of your arms and legs. This is when blood moves from the heart, and it's going to be oxygenated blood throughout the body and finally back into the heart. So let's learn about this systemic system. Oxygenated blood is going to flow from the heart to the rest of the body via arteries. The arteries are moving away from the heart, and this time the arteries are carrying oxygenated blood. Remember that the blood has just been oxygenated by virtue of it going through pulmonary circulation. Now it's ready to get that oxygenated blood pumped to the rest of the body. The arteries are going to split into capillary networks. So a large artery is going to branch and split into smaller and smaller arterioles. And those arterioles are going to split into finer and finer capillaries. We learnt about the structure of these different kinds of blood vessels last week. The organs then receive oxygenated blood from the capillary networks. So the capillaries are like fine little vessels that take this oxygenated blood right to the cells. And at the cells, of course, they're going to offload their high concentration of oxygen into the cells, which have a low concentration of oxygen. And you're going to see that the carbon dioxide, which is now at high concentration inside the cells, is going to move across into the capillaries. So precisely the reverse happens in the system as what happened at the lungs. At the lungs, you were offloading carbon dioxide and picking up oxygen. In exactly the same way, due to concentration differences in the system, you're going to be doing the exact same process, but the other way around. You're going to be offloading oxygen and uploading into the blood the carbon dioxide. Other exchanges will also be made. You're going to make sure that the waste products, things like urea, uric acid, substances which the body, excess salts for example, that the body cells cannot keep inside them because they will become toxic at high levels, all of these substances are dumped into the blood. Likewise, glucose and other amino acids that those cells need are offloaded from the blood into the cell. Once again, moving down a concentration gradient, but some of those substances are helped into the cells by protein molecules or by hormones. In the case of glucose, for example, insulin allows that glucose to move across the cell membrane barrier. So another thing that must be carried in the blood are hormones which are necessary for the uptake of certain substances. And so we see that the blood that's moving around in systemic circulation is very busy. It's not just carrying oxygen and carbon dioxide, it's carrying a host of other substances that the cells need. And once the blood has gone past the cells, it's going to be picking up waste products. And all of these are going to be combined into larger and larger and larger vessels, and they're going to be returned to the heart. And so here we can see a little graphic that shows us how this works. We see that blood comes into the heart from the rest of the body. It's going to leave the heart and go to the lungs, the left or the right lung. Do you remember what the vessel will be called that takes the blood to the lungs? That will be your pulmonary artery. It's going to bring back to the heart via the pulmonary vein, the oxygenated blood, which is then going to be circulated around the body to the top part of the body, down to the bottom part of the body, and that will circulate ultimately back into the heart. So we see that deoxygenated blood returns to the heart via the veins, and this double circulatory system keeps working. It's been working from the minute that you were born, and it's still working right now. Little blood cells being shot all over and quite at random. There's no pattern for those blood cells as long as the blood cells are passing through pulmonary circulation and then they go through systemic. But sometimes a cell will go to your head, for example. Another time it'll go to your arm, maybe to your pancreas, maybe to your liver. But every blood cell must first go through pulmonary circulation before it progresses to systemic circulation. After the break, we're going to be looking at homeostasis.